Hey, what's up, everybody? Wanted to have a conversation with you all about a topic that sprang up as a result of Jay Z performing at the Roots Picnic in Philadelphia this past weekend. Everybody was talking about his performance across social media. And I guess I never thought this would happen because I'm still looking at Jay Z through the prism of Reasonable Doubt dropping, I believe, in 1995, either 95 or 96. I was 20 years old. And so that album and Jay Z's career has meant something different to me because I literally felt like I grew up with Jay Z. And a lot of us who are Gen Xers felt that way. But what's come up since his performance is that there are clearly a lot of Gen Zers, and I don't want to say everybody, who just don't think Jay Z is good. And this blows my mind. But yet I'm always willing to have the conversation.
It shouldn't blow your mind. There's always going to be generational divides. The younger generations don't see older generations as the golden age as that particular generation would see themselves. So it's not mind blowing.
See what it is that people dislike about him, or what's the issue? Is it because his music for them just doesn't match the moment or the mood that they
It doesn't, because he's not part of the moment. People are not going to, unless you're more than a casual fan, which most people are casual consumers of music, they're not going to be preempted and prompted to go back and discover someone's catalog. He doesn't do interviews. He doesn't work with new artists. He doesn't drop a lot of music. So it's not far fetched to think that he's out of touch. He does come off as an enigma.
they're in? Do they like honestly think he's not a good rapper? But I just noticed like the younger people really don't mess with Jay Z. And I heard or read rather somebody on social media say,
A lot of people don't mess with Jay Z. I'm from the South, so I was one of the few that actually messed with Jay Z. Well, nobody, none of my friends was listening to Jay Z. When I was listening to Jay Z, they was like, "Man, what the hell are you listening to?" And then nobody recognized him when he jumped on the Juvenile remix of Ha. Um, like Jay Z doesn't resonate like that everywhere, and I don't know why that's so egregious for some people. Like his diehard core, shout out to him. You know, they fit a certain mold, they fit a certain demographic. Usually, they're all around her age. They're successful, they're aspirational. That feeds to his fan base, but that's not everybody.
is because they've only known Jay Z, the billionaire, Jay Z, the super rich dude, married to Beyonce, who they feel like is out of touch, old. And
It
I
is.
think they look at his billionaire status and see Jay Z as an elitist. And I guess it's different if you come from the generation in which you saw him literally go from nothing to something. So while I am very well aware of the fact that Jay Z is very rich, married to one of the most talented women on earth, I also can see the distance between looking at Jay Z as strictly a billionaire versus somebody whose rap career has matured upon a certain path. So I want to know what you all think and what you think this divide is between generations about Jay Z. Do the young people just not get it? Or is we being the old people, I guess you could say, maybe not just Gen Xers, but also millennials, is it something that we're not getting? Is Jay Z like no longer cool anymore? Y'all let me know what's up in the comments below.
Yeah, he's not cool, man. I mean, he's cool to a certain extent. He's cool to a certain demographic. Not everybody's cool to everybody. He's cool to me. I'm a millennial, not a Gen Xer, technically. Um, and yeah, I was young, probably, she said she was 20 in 96. I was a decade earlier than that. But I was listening to Jay Z. I was listening to Dead Presidents. But I kind of feel like I was ahead of my time in so many different ways. And I've always just been someone, not to make this about me, just kind of making context for how other people, there are other people like me. Some people are just looking for different things. Some people are going to be, if there are people, I'm sure there are legions of people in New York, since everybody from the East Coast venerates Jay Z. There's going to be some individuals that gravitate to more Southern music just because. I've known people like that. I knew people like it came from New York. They was like, man, I don't listen to Jay-Z, man. I listen to Scarface. I listen to UGK. Like even Jay-Z himself listened to UGK. Scarface is his favorite rapper, but not to digress. Um, I've heard the reason why I'm speaking on this in the first place because Jay-Z is the only has the only fan base to where his fan base is elitist. His fan base will make you feel like you're dumb because you don't listen to Jay-Z. They dissect his words, his bars like scripture. They can quote them off that applies to any situation, just like scripture. And they feel like they're smarter because they can break down his deeper meanings, all his different codes that he puts in his raps, which is commendable. Sometimes it gets a little when sometimes it becomes when for someone who I think I'm kind of smart, it's like you sound smart to dumb people. Like some of his his triple and double coded rhymes is like, okay, yeah, you thought that, but it wasn't that deep. It was just you had the intention of thinking, I'm going to match this with this different layers, but it's really not that deep if you had the intention to do it. And then it's easy to point out. I don't know. I'm just talking, man. I'm just a guy with some thoughts and some opinions, but everything is subjective. Art is subjective, so I don't understand why that fan base of Jay Z, unlike any other fan base I've ever witnessed, will try to shame you for not liking Jay Z and will try to recruit you to be part of the Jay Z cult, as if it really means something to them. Do you listen to me? I like discovering stuff that's off the beaten path. That's how I found Jay Z in the first place. Is because at the time that I was discovering music as a young pre-adolescent, I wanted to listen to different things than everybody. Everybody was listening to this is 95, 96. Everybody's listening to UGK, Master P, Scarface, which I love. I'm a child of the South. Everything, screw everything. But at the same time, my desire to be different, my desire to discover alternative music, alternative artists for me, for my surroundings. That's how I discovered Jay Z in the first place. I ventured over to the East Coast, and um, he was a underground type artist at the time. He wasn't who he is now. Who would have known he would have rose to the status? And a lot of it hasn't been. We're not gonna get into all that. Um, thoughts and opinions. What you think?